Hello and welcome to episode 29 of Mad Dialogue with me, Michelle.
And me, Skylar.
I hope everybody is doing well. As usual, we're just going to jump straight into it. So, we're bringing to you about the shooting of Charlie Kirk. So, this information that I got was from BBC News, and it was posted basically on the 11th of September, but it was updated a day later. So, Charlie Kirk, an influential right wing activist and a close ally of US President Donald Trump, was shot dead on Wednesday while speaking at an event at a university in Utah. On Friday, President Trump said a suspect was in custody, telling Fox News, "I think we've got him." At a subsequent press conference, Utah Governor Spencer Cox named the suspect as Tyler Robinson. Here's what we know. What happened? Kirk, 31, was speaking at Utah Valley University in Orem on 10th of September 2025 as part of his American comeback tour. He sat under a white gazebo to take questions from a crowd of about 3,000 in the university's quad and outdoor courtyard. At about 12:20, he is asked by a member of the crowd, "Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?" He replies, "Too many." The questioner then states there had been 5 in 10 years and asks Kirk how many mass shootings there had been in that time. "Counting or not counting gang violence," Kirk replies. Then a single shot is heard, which is believed to have been fired from the roof of the Lucy Center, I believe that's how it's pronounced, a building overlooking the quad. Kirk then slumps in his chair with a clearly visible wound to his neck. He is bleeding profusely as his staff get him off stage. The crowds around the tent then begin to flee and screams can be heard. On Friday, Trump told Fox News that a suspect was in custody and was turned in by someone very close to him. Asked to clarify, Trump said, namely his father, got involved and said, "We've got to go in." They drove into the police headquarters and he's there now, he said. At a news conference shortly afterwards, Cox identified the suspect as Mr. Robinson, 22, and said that on Thursday evening, a family member of his reached out to a family friend who contacted the authorities. Investigators found Robinson in the same clothing seen in footage they had gathered. Cox said a family member told investigators that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The governor added that the family member had recorded a conversation with Robinson in which the suspect said Charlie Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. Cox also described the gun, scope, and bullet casings found near the scene, some of which he said had been engraved with slogans including "Hey Fascist, Catch." Authorities had not previously named a suspect, but had released photos of a person of interest and appealed for public help identifying the man pictured, who was wearing sunglasses, Converse shoes, and a distinctive long-sleeved black top featuring an American flag and an eagle. At a press conference on Thursday night, Utah Governor Spencer Cox also released a video of the suspect fleeing the scene. A figure dressed in black is seen running across the roof of the building from where the shot was fired and jumping to the grass below before walking towards a nearby road and a cluster of trees. The FBI earlier said they found a high-powered firearm, an imported Morsa, I believe that's how you pronounce it, .30-06 bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel in a wooded area. Other videos, including two examined by BBC Verify, also appear to show a dark figure running across the roof of a building in the aftermath of the shooting. Officials say a palm print and a forearm imprints were also discovered and that forensic evidence was being processed in federal and state laboratories. In his statement on Thursday, Cox said the authorities would pursue the death penalty in this case. Utah is one of the 27 states in the US where the death penalty is legal. He said there had been thousands of tips from members of the public, the largest number the FBI has received since the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. He added more than 200 interviews had been conducted. It goes on to say eyewitnesses said they heard a loud shot, a loud bang, and then saw his body actually in slow motion kind of fall over, one witness said. We all dropped to the ground, and I want to say we sat like that for about 30 to 45 seconds, and then everyone around us got up and started running, said Emma Pitts, a reporter from Deseret News. And then it just goes on to talk about, you know, who Charlie Kirk was as a person. So that's what we have as much as, you know, what happened. So what's your views on it?
Me personally, I feel like this has been happening since the dawn of time. You know what I mean? People killing people based on opposing views, based on people's skin color, based on people's religion, based on so many different things. There's been reasons why humans have decided to kill one another. You know what I mean? So it's nothing new in that sense. And I also feel like it's annoying when you hear people like, all I've ever heard about Charlie Kirk is by people basically chatting shit about him, by talking about how what a terrible person he is and this, that, and the other. So then all I'm seeing is that being switched now. Oh, he's been shot. Oh, this is so sad. You know, this poor man, this poor family, which is understandable. You know, naturally as human beings, we're going to have compassion for people's families, and the fact that, yes, someone dying is horrible. However, I don't think that takes away from the person he was. You know what I mean? That's the whole reason he got killed, was because of the sort of person he was. And obviously, it bothered people that much. You know what I mean? But I would never think anyone getting killed like that is right. No, you know what I mean?
Well, me personally, I've never heard of Charlie Kirk until this occurred. And me, I don't believe that anyone should lose their life based on their views, you know, and I mean that, you know what I mean? He didn't deserve to die. But the things that I have heard about Charlie Kirk is not good. And I mean, you know, one article I read, as soon as I saw MAGA and close friends with Donald Trump, you don't have to, there's nothing more that I need to hear, to be perfectly honest with you in that respect. But once again, I'm not saying that it's right that he lost his life. But one thing I do want to say is, and this is where I'm like, I know I'm not the only one that gets this and understands this, but Charlie Kirk was, as much as he had his own views and this, that, and the other, same like Donald Trump, same like all the world leaders. Everybody thinks that these people are the ones that are actually controlling things, when the actual fact of the matter is there is a higher power above these world leaders that are actually telling them what to do, what to say.
Especially somebody like him. You know what I mean? Guys,
right.
if you watch Ali G,
right?
You watch Ali G, they were behind him.
You know?
And it's
so
just like,
I don't people get caught up in it in the respects that they forget that these people are actually not as high in position as what you actually think they are. They are underneath people. So, you know, maybe the long and short of it was not really, that wasn't really how Charlie Kirk felt, but that's what he had to put out there. Do you know what I mean? Because people are not checking that a lot of the times these things are done to divide people more and more.
Yeah,
you know,
I
don't know if it's related, but but I also don't believe in coincidence that I believe it's Texas, that on the same day, but different parts, 2 young black men were hung from trees. Yeah. Now, is that to do with it? Like what it just seems a bit strange to me that has happened. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and me not knowing who Charlie Kirk is just further proof that I'm not into all of this politics thing, because you know, people can say, oh, you know, conspiracy theories, but I'm a conspiracy realist. I'm just being so for real. Like, people need to open their eyes and understand, because once again, there are many people that would not have agreed with what Charlie Kirk had to say, but they didn't jump up and say they were killing him. So on that note, I'm going to talk a little bit about what they said about Tyler Robinson. So Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old Utah resident accused of killing MAGA commentator Charlie Kirk, has been formally charged with aggravated murder. At a press conference announcing charges against him Tuesday, state prosecutors revealed text messages sent by Robinson to his roommate and alleged romantic partner, in which he appeared to take responsibility for the fatal shooting at Utah Valley University last week. Robinson evaded capture for 33 hours after allegedly opening fire on Kirk from a rooftop around 160 yards away from where he was speaking. Jumping off of a roof and disappearing in the chaos, the right-wing influencer 31 died several hours after being struck in the neck by the bullet. Robinson has been formally charged with aggravated murder and 6 other charges, including obstruction of justice and witness tampering. Here's what we know about the alleged killer. Robinson grew up in the conservative southern Utah city of Washington with his mom, who works at a Intermountain Support Coordination Services, dad, a police officer and kitchen fitter, and 2 brothers, social media suggests. He has been described as quiet, in quotes, by people who know him, as well as a straight-A student. His grandmother claimed she had never heard her grandson discuss politics. However, family members told investigators that Robinson had become more political in recent years. Utah voting information seen by The Independent shows the 22-year-old's voter status is inactive, meaning he has not voted in the last 2 general elections or responded to notices sent by a county clerk. His party affiliation is listed as unaffiliated, while both his parents are registered Republicans, according to state voter records. Most of my family members are Republican. I don't know any single one who's a Democrat. I'm just so confused, the suspect's grandmother, Debbie Robinson, 69, told the Daily Mail. Pictures on social media show Robinson dressed in a Trump costume for Halloween in 2017. Robinson did not attend Utah Valley University where the shooting took place. He received a resident presidential scholarship to Utah State University, but only attended the institution for 1 year. He then moved home to complete an electrical apprenticeship program at Dixie Technical College in St. George, Utah, according to the Utah System of Higher Education. Robinson has been charged with 7 counts, the most serious of which are aggravated murder and felony discharge of a firearm. Aggravating factors have been applied to those charges based on targeting Kirk over political expression and knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide. The full charges are count 1, aggravated murder, count 2, felony discharge of firearm, count 3, obstruction of justice for moving and concealing a rifle, count 4, obstruction of justice for disposing of clothing, count 5, witness tampering for directing roommate to delete texts, count 6, witness tampering directing roommate to stay silent, count 7, commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child for committing homicide knowing children present. And that's basically as it goes on. Yeah. So I'm not going to draw it out and read out the whole thing. But once again, yeah, this is so similar to how the shooters in the past, yeah, they're described as quiet and straight A students. Yeah. It said that he hadn't voted in the last 2 years, and his status for which, who he supported was inactive. So then was his views that strong? It makes no sense. It makes no sense, because if you feel that strongly about it, then why wouldn't you vote for the opposite one?
But think about it though, Mama, because in my views to it, I've had conversations with many people and we've said it ourselves, all of these people are grouped under somebody that's higher than, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's understandable.
So you think that he
still have
so you
possible
think he had the same views as us then?
Not necessarily, but similar. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he realized that they're puppets,
yeah,
basically.
And there's no point.
And and
that's just my.
So see, but then it makes no sense again, because at the end of the day, then what was he gaining from taking out Charlie Kirk? No shade, and I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, but why wouldn't you try take out somebody higher?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because like I said, no disrespect, I never heard of Charlie Kirk before, just the same way Charlie Kirk's had never heard of me before. Do you know what I'm saying? So there are more prominent figures than him that, if you felt that strongly about it, would have made more of a statement.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So then again, is
his thing not politics, or is it? But then that wouldn't make sense.
Is it another
No.
distraction?
Like this is the thing. Like it
You
just
know,
really makes sense.
Is Tyler a pawn in this? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Was he made to do this in some form of way? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and this is the reason why I don't get it, because I find myself going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
because
it would make more sense if he
because
was just a pawn, a 22-year-old guy to just
22.
Like, that's just crazy.
Charlie Kirk bothered you that much? That makes no sense. Just like it makes no sense all them other shooters. And it's just, I don't know. There's it's dark energy because he killed somebody. But what I'm saying is the whole thing, I just get dark energy from it. Okay. Something doesn't add up. Yeah. Because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
It really doesn't to me. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see what else comes from this, like what else we find out, because, you know, it's all over social media, but I don't want to feed in to what other people are saying. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know I've just sat here and just said things, but I'm just talking. What I'm saying is there's people on social media that are going deep into the rabbit hole where I'd much rather not go. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be clear. This is not, it was only a couple of weeks ago. It was over social media that there was a planned assassination of Donald Trump. So it's just really crazy to me that this has happened now. Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
so I don't know, but I guess as time goes on, we'll hear more and we'll get more understanding from it. But like I said, irrespective of how the man was and his views, you know, he's left his wife and 2 children, do you know, and they're young. Do you know what I'm saying? So I say I'm sending an abundance of love and light to his family, because when all is said and done, that's still her husband and that was still their father. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm sending an abundance of love and light to his people. And that's as much as I can say on the subject. What have you got? Anything else you'd like to add? No? Okay then. Well, on that note, we're going to leave it here for this week. But once again, thank you so much for joining us. And maybe I don't do it often enough, but I really want to give a shout out to our subscribers. Yeah, we love you. Thank you so much for being here with us. And to the people that view us, please like and subscribe. Okay? You will like us. You will enjoy being with us. So, as always, I am sending an abundance of love and light, and it's goodbye from me, Michelle, and goodbye from Skylar.
Bye.
Bye.